and welcome to the Rock ATX online worship experience. You are getting ready to experience God on another level. Whatever you're seeking from God for your life is available for you as you praise, hear the word, and transform your situation. While you're worshiping with us, feel free to interact with our online ministers in the chat and share this broadcast with your friends and family so they can join you online. Also, make sure you subscribe and follow the Rock ATX on Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram to stay connected to all the Rock is doing. Now, shake off the worries of the week and get ready to give God some praise. Service will begin soon.
Am I making sense? Go to my next slide. I want to talk to you about this idea because there is a point in life where I've noticed, and research has now amplified the thought that there is a point in our lives that is probably the most dangerous for all of us. There's a critical point that we all enter into where it's a point of volatility. It's a point where either you can go in or you can go out. It's a point in which where you are at your decisions, your mindset now determines your future. Because once again, we act like it's not God's will for us to overcome. It's like God only wants two of y'all to overcome, and the rest of us, he wants to suffer. Am I making sense? I mean, we treat him like that. We're like, that's God's will for them. It ain't God's will for my life. Everything else. And so we're in a very dangerous point, and I want to talk about that dangerous point on this morning. And I want to use Ruth to help us really see that critical juncture in life that most of us miss. And I want to bring it out for you today. Now, here's the next slide. I'm going to show you this. So the most dangerous point in life is this. When you're caught up in the middle. This picture is a picture of a road, a nature trail, hiking bike trail, what have you. I enjoy nature. I enjoy it a great deal. I enjoy walking, especially, and walking around amongst nature. I love it. When I went to Virginia a couple of years ago, it's interesting. Even when I go on my little sabbaticals, oftentimes I get out the plane, I rent the car, I go find a grocery store, buy me some groceries, and then I go look and I Google where is a good nature walk, and I go find it, and then and I figure out how far it is away from where I'm staying. I go unpack my stuff and put my stuff up, and then I go out the next morning. Get up the next morning, and then I go on the walk, and it's kind of cool because you can be in different space. So you may be in Chicago, you may be in Virginia, you may be somewhere, and there's this nature trail, and it's kind of cool because you're in it. You feel you feel nature, you feel the air, you feel the breeze. You're getting your little exercise. You're disconnected from everything. It's a real cool thing. But this, as promising as this is, there's also a point where there's a little bit of trepidation, because when you're going on this walk, just like I remember this reminded, the reason why I picked this picture, it reminded me of that walk in Virginia when I found that trail, because when you're walking a new trail, you really don't know where it's going. And if you can imagine, you're walking along, and all you can see is just beyond that curve. But you don't know what's beyond that curve. And then because I'm not 20 anymore, I've got to try to adjust and say, when am I going to get tired? And at what point do I turn around? And so as enjoyable as this is, and it really is, and it gets my energy up because it's kind of hype because you don't know what's around the next corner, and then you're like, well, I'm gonna go 5 more minutes, and I'm gonna go 20 more minutes, I'm gonna go this, and you start seeing, and if you like me, you're like, I'm gonna make it past that tree, and I'm gonna make it past that curve, and and you're just going along. Well, nature parks and trails, one of the things they do for us, because they understand how enjoyable this is, but they also understand how stressful it is. So what they started giving you is mile markers. They start putting little signs up that says, 2 mile marker, 3 mile marker, and they'll even put little symbols up to say water is this way, and you learn this. And the reason why they do this is because they understand how stressful it could be to keep walking, not knowing where you're going, and not being sure of when to turn around, what's ahead of me, what's going on. Am I making sense? Am I gonna walk over a cliff? Are there bears over here? What's going on? Am I making sense? Now, so for some of you, this is stressful for you because you're like, it's animals out there. For me, because I'm a nature guy, I'm walking, like, it's animals over there. I'm like, man, look at that. Oh wow. Look at that. I'm looking around and I'm thinking and everything else. But I reach a point where the buildings disappear and it's just trees and grass. And then you start thinking, well, I'm in this state by myself. So if I mess around and get hurt, I mess around and get lost, then I'm gonna be like, I'm gonna be burning wood, sending smoke signals, saying, because it's nothing worse than being lost with no mile markers. It's nothing worse in the world than being in an environment where you're like, I'm just walking, and it's nothing but choices and choices and choices. About a year ago, I was walking with my dog one morning, and I decided to go. They had opened up this new street in my connected to my neighborhood, and I was gonna be brave. I was gonna be different. I said, let's go down this new street. So we went down this new street and all these hills and stuff, and then that street opened up to another street, and then another street, and then another street. And after a while, I was like in the midst of this neighborhood, and it was nothing but hills this way and hills that way. And I crossed my physical threshold, where at first you walk in, walk like this. After a while, you walk like this, and then I was like, and my dog sensed it, because they started looking at me like, man, where we going? And I was like, man, I'm lost. I don't know where we're going, and I'm bold, and I'm out here now, and so I got to figure out my way. And I was like, and I said to myself, I may have to call Felicia and ask her to rescue me, because I don't even know where I am anymore. That's a bad place to be. That's a bad place to be. And what happens to many of us, saints of God, is this. For many of us, what you don't understand is this. This is the most dangerous part of your life, because when you journey out with God, you move with God, you're doing God things, you're doing God kind of things, and you're so excited about being with God, and you're so excited about walking with God, and then you get to this point where you're like, wait a minute, I'm out there now. Have you ever been at that point where you said, man, I'm out there now? And then you said, my boy Paul is here. Paul, where you said, and me and Paul, we've done ministry together for years. And there were times when we were driving on RVs to New York. And he was the driver, and my job was to navigate and keep him awake. Everybody else in the back sleep. But my job was to keep him awake. His job was to drive, and I'm looking at a map. And there were times we both looked at each other and said, man, we in too deep. We out here now in the middle of the U.S., and every 2 hours somebody knocking on the door. Are we there yet? We're going to freaking New York. No, we ain't there yet. It's been 5 hours. No, we're not. We still in Texas. The most dangerous part of your life is when you're in the middle, because it's easy to start a thing, but it's really, really hard to finish a thing. But I want to say again, the most dangerous part of your life is when you're in the middle. Go to my next slide. We look at the story of Ruth. I'm going to show you this. Ruth, chapter 1, verses 1 through 5. This tells the story of what happened to Naomi and Ruth to get them into Moab. They were in Judah. Now, the days came to pass when judges ruled. So if you think about a timeline, the book of Judges, after they went into the promised land, now the judges are happening now. They're in the promised land. Things are going well, and then things are going bad. They're in this cycle. And in this cycle, literally, God tells them don't intermarry. God tells them don't do all this stuff, and they keep doing it, and he keeps raising up judges. And so, and then God sends famine. They get healed. God sends this. So during this time, judges ruled, and there was a famine in the land. So now Naomi is a woman, and famine is in the land, and so she lives in Bethlehem, and her husband, Elimelech, decides, baby, we're finna move, because this season is over. It's time to go. Now we got to go to another season. We got to go to another place. Got to go to another country. There's more opportunity there. There's better food there. We can go there. So they leave Bethlehem, and they travel to Moab. Some say it was about a 10-day walking journey. So about 10 days walking journey, somewhere between 60 and 90 miles. They walk, and this was a very treacherous journey because they didn't have the roads and trails. So it's a very dangerous journey, but this man takes his wife, Naomi, and he takes his 2 sons, and they go to a better spot. They're gonna be better, right? And so now they go to the land of Moab. Now, when they're in Moab, they're there, and his sons meet these 2 girls, Ruth and Orpah, and they get married. So now, if you can imagine, you've established your life, you've moved to this other country, and 10 years go by. And after 10 years, you've established your routine. So Elimelech is living, the sons are doing their thing, and then the sons marry Ruth, and they marry Orpah, and they marry them, and according to tradition, Ruth and Orpah leave their family and go over to Elimelech's family. So now you got Elimelech, Naomi, you got Ruth, you got Orpah and their 2 husbands, and they're living over here for 10 years. And things are going good. But then, verse 3, Elimelech, Naomi's husband, died. Problem because now the patriarch of our family dies. Now we got a disappointment. We got a mess now. But we're okay because at least we got our 2 sons. So all of the rules about inheritance and people taking care of us, we still straight. Right. And so now the boys took these wives, so these Moabite women, Ruth and Orpah, they date the boys, they marry the boys. And they're there 10 years, verse 4. Now then, both Mahlon and Chilion die. So now the dad's dead, and then the 2 sons are dead. So now you got Naomi, Ruth, and Orpah. 3 women. And they're in a mess now because they don't have any inheritance rights. They don't have anybody that can work their field. And so now they're in a world of trouble. Am I making sense? Now, here's the deal. Now, everybody likes what I'm going to call phase 1. You can go to this next slide. Everybody likes phase 1 of life. Phase 1 mentality is optimism. Man, it's all good. Man, life is going to be good. It's going to work out for us. Optimism, phase 1 is when you start the business. Phase 1 is when you go to school. Phase 1 is when you get the job. That's the happy part. Phase 1 is when you get married. You know, we're going to make it. It's going to be love and love and love forever and ever and ever. Phase one, optimism. We ain't going to never fight. We're just going to make love every day. We're going to make love in the morning. We're going to make love in the afternoon. We're going to make love at night. And in between then, we're going to eat. And then we're going to make love again. That's what you're going to do. That's optimism. Am I making sense? That's phase one. Listen. So now, think about it. When Naomi and them moved out, they had optimism. Man, it's better over there. It's a good place, right? Now, opportunity. It's a famine over here. So what we're going to do is we're going to go over there where there's more things, right? Right.
Thank you for worshiping with us today. If you're in need of prayer or someone to talk to, our online ministers are available for you right now in the chat. And we invite you to join us again for our extraordinary worship services every Sunday at 10:30 a.m., Sunday at 4 p.m., and Wednesdays at 7:30 p.m. Central, where Dr. Moody teaches how to understand the Bible and you can get your biblical questions answered. We look forward to connecting with you and ask that you subscribe to the Rock ATX on YouTube and follow us on Facebook and Instagram to stay connected to all the Rock is doing. Also, you can connect with us through our website at therockatx.org. Again, thank you for worshiping with us, and be blessed.